front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, Joe, I'm in the front row. Got 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row.
I'm Aubrey McAlpine. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, raised in Los Angeles, California.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about these couple days, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. How do you feel about it so far?
I like it. I like how the organization, I like how she put it together, the group of people behind it as far as the sponsors, everything like that. They got the things that players are not necessarily knowledgeable about. I'm glad how she put it together. It's a good exposure experiment for us, so I like it.
And how about some of the coaches? I know they've been very interactive, very knowledgeable and sharing that knowledge.
Right.
What are some things you can take from this training?
They're pretty much emphasizing on angles and being more efficient with the ball without doing too much. And that's a lot of people in our generation, we don't know that, as far as we don't need to put the ball on the floor 1,000 times. Quick, precise, straight to the point. So they're just teaching us things like that, just to the little veteran move that they learned along the way, and they passing on to us.
Right, being efficient with the ball, right? Not doing too much.
Exactly.
I also heard they talked about roles, being able to fit different roles. So what are some roles that you feel you could fit if given the opportunity?
Given the opportunity, first of all, defender. I take pride in defense. My whole life, all the way back to high school, I've been known as a defender. To college, all the way to European. So that's the first thing, and I know that a lot of times that separates players from making it to the next level is being a willing defender or even a private defender. So definitely that's first things first. Me taking pride in defense, but also I'm a capable knockdown shooter. Especially mid-range, I feel like I perfected that and mastered that. So just being able to make the open shot and being coachable as well. I know how to. I've been dealing with a lot of adversity as far as players not knowing how to listen to their coaches or adapt to certain environment situations. So I learned that along the way. So I feel like I'm very coachable, and I learned how to adapt to certain coaches.
And I know that developing your game is an ever growing process.
Right.
But what are some things that you are focusing on that you feel that you can improve a lot going forward?
My 3-point consistency. For the last 2 years, I've been off the dribble more so. I've been working on my 3-point consistently off the dribble or creating from the NBA range. The college range, European, I feel like I'm fine with that. But NBA range is more. I need to get more consistent at as well.
What is it that keeps you going? What got you up this morning? What keeps getting you up every morning?
I have a chip on my shoulder, I believe, and I feel like this comes from Shireen. I've done work with Shireen in the past as well. She knows the things I've been through. I've torn both Achilles and both ACLs, and I'm actually recovering from Achilles injury now. So I have people believing in me and pushing on to me, and then it's more. My story is bigger than just for me. I feel like it's to inspire others, because a lot of people give up after one situation, one setback, one trial and tribulation. I'm here to just keep playing and hopefully to inspire somebody to keep going no matter what it is. As long as I reach one person that I didn't give up on what I want to accomplish, that's my goal.
And where would you like to be if you got to choose where you got to play? Not so far as a team, but what level would you be comfortable with at the peak of your career?
Of course, NBA. We all grow up aspiring for the NBA. That's what we work for. That's what we put in the hours for. Where I played before is Australia, and I would love to go back there, try to visit Australia, and I want to play in Spain as well. So if God willing, if NBA works out, if not, those are 2 places I would like to go with.
Wonderful. Thank you for your time, buddy.
My name is Tyrone Marshall Jr. I'm from Denver, Colorado. Born, partially raised, moved around a whole lot. Lived in a lot of different states as a kid, so always moving around, but for the most part, Denver, Colorado. Okay,
cool. So let's get into some reactions from the training. How did you think you did so far?
It's always weird answering that question as a competitor. Like me myself, I always think I could have done better. Always, no matter, I could have had the greatest game, and I think I should have done better.
And I like how you answer that, because you're never satisfied. And like I said, as a competitor, you never want to settle. You always want to do better. Yeah. So I think that was a great answer right there. What are some positive things you could take from the training? What do you think that surprised you, maybe, or
Some positives definitely taken from this training is this is a longer camp, and it's one of the longest camps I've ever had. So I definitely know always got to work on my cardio. As a basketball player, you always got to work on your cardio. Period. But even more now. Okay. Just a couple of things I've learned from my teammates on cardio, exercises, stretches. like workouts, just like all the things I learned from the players and the coaches, like just getting all the information I can to make sure that tomorrow I can work on more.
And I noticed that because even though, like you said, it's a sport where each player is fighting for a spot, you still see that teamwork where someone else is supporting you, saying, hey, you know what, this is a good technique. So in a way, it's still teamwork within that individualism.
Yeah.
And I always love that.
Yeah.
But I definitely noticed that as well. I also noticed that coaches were talking about roles. You know how in the NBA they're looking for role players.
Yeah.
What are some roles that you think you could fit if you were given a chance?
Most definitely hype man. I definitely, like, if I'm on the bench, which I don't really, it doesn't matter, whatever helps my team, I definitely cheer my teammates on, like, forever. Whatever I got to do, like, to make sure that my teammates feel encouraged to play better, like, give advice or just cheer, whatever it is, like, I can do that.
Energy, right?
Energy, always.
And with a lot of teams, sometimes you don't start as much, but if you got that energy on the bench, you can come off the bench and you can set the tone from then on.
Exactly.
All right, then.
Why are you playing basketball? Forget about stats and points. Why are you playing? Why are you here?
So for me, the biggest thing is my family. So my mother and father, older, had a hard life, worked really, really hard raising me, gave me the best life they could, so I can't complain, even though we come from humble means. Like, I do a lot of it for them. Every time I get on that court, that's what I remember, because I'm just trying to make sure they have a better life, so they live out the rest of their life as best as possible. And my little nephew, he can have a great life, and my kids after that come later on, like, they can have a great
Raheem Williams, I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm out there, man. Drake City.
from the six.
Yeah, from the 6. Yes, sir.
All right, so tell me more about your experience so far with the showcase, with the training. How do you feel about it?
I think it's a great opportunity for everybody. Had some great people come out here and watch us play. Some good scouts, NBA scouts have been out here. And I really like, the fact that this is the first year and it's had a pretty great showing. So, yeah.
Okay, you also, they said that there was different kind of trainers here. You had coaches who played in the NBA, internationally. What are some positive things that you could take from their knowledge that they've been giving out?
Well, I talked to a couple of the coaches, and just as a point guard, they've taught me a lot of things. As bigs and point guards, you got to kind of be on the same page. So, they told me a lot about changing the pace of the game and being able to stay steady with your game and not go too fast when things aren't going your way. Just staying even keel. So.
Controlling that tempo,
Yeah,
right?
yes, sir.
And I also heard they mentioned a lot about roles, knowing how to be versatile between roles.
Right.
If given the opportunity, what are some roles that you feel you could fill in a team?
Well, I base my game as just being a basketball player. I don't really choose. I don't really decide. Being a point guard or whatever it is. I can play off the ball. I can play on the ball. I'm a bigger guard, so I can guard different positions, 1 through 3, sometimes the 4, depending on the size. So.
Why are you here? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you try so hard?
Ooh, that's tough. Well, a lot of it is just because, I see my mom, she works hard. You know what I mean? She works hard for what she has. And the dedication that she puts into her work, she's a nurse at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And to see her, get up every day, go and work with these kids, that aren't her own, and put her all into it, it motivates me, to get up, and if she can do it, why can't I do it? Get up and be able to play basketball each and every day, sport that I love, So, yeah.
Now that's going to keep you a step ahead. You're obviously raised right.
Yes, sir.
You respect. You have manners. Tell me what's going to separate you from the rest of the crowd. Not basketball.
Not basketball?
What's separating you from what can we expect from you and not from anybody else here?
Well, I don't want to speak on anybody else, but I'm very humble. You know what I mean? And I grew up in a one parent household, and my mom, she took care of me like my dad and my mom. So I just used that to my advantage. You know what I mean? I learned tough love at a young age. So I have 2 older sisters, a younger brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that'll set me apart because I know how to get down and dirty when it's time, and I know how to be respectful and humble at the same time. So.
My name is Dartanyon Meggs. I'm from Lake Elsinore, California.
All right, so how do you like it so far? How are you doing?
It's competitive. So far, so good. Individually, I felt I did well yesterday. As a whole, we won in overtime, so I can't complain. There's a lot of competitive guys out here. So just trying to do my part and get better.
All right, so individually, what are some positive takes that you're taking from the training, from all the coaches? Any new pointers that you're getting, any new stuff?
As far as help, a lot of guys just being very helpful and impactful by telling us what we're doing right, such as catch and shoot instead of shuffling your feet and stuff like that. Just natural stuff a professional is supposed to know at this level. They're helpful. If you have questions, you more so just have to ask. You know, closed mouth don't get fed, so stuff like that.
Exactly. What about some rooms for growth and opportunity, you know, in your game, for instance?
Personally, as a player, there's always room to improve and get better each and every day. Nobody's perfect at one thing, whether that be myself, LeBron, anybody, Steph Curry. There's always stuff to improve on. So it's a work in progress at the end of the day. So just maximize your talent and ability every day if you can.
And they also had mentioned about roles. What are some roles that you could fit if you were to get into a team?
For NBA-wise, if people are trying to get in, it's not more so the James Harden show or Kobe. You're not going to be that guy when you first get in there. You have to build yourself up, start as a role player, catch and shoot, play defense, rebound. Small things will get you in, and then you just progress. And then when you get work on your individual talent, then they'll see that, and then your role gets bigger, and you become an all-star.
So previously interviewed, your name again for me?
Dartanyon Meggs.
Yeah, did you hear that? D'Artagnan. So your parents named you after a musketeer.
Yes.
Explain that.
Well, I'm not sure because my parents' names are Paul and Lisa. So my mom's favorite character on the Three Musketeers was the fourth Musketeer, which is pronounced D'Artagnan. She just liked to give me the name D'Artagnan. And I like it. I run away with it.
Okay, you play like a musketeer out there. You seem to be a little bit louder and a little more aggressive than everybody on the court. You stand out a little bit. What do you attribute that to?
Just knowing you can't get picked or chosen if you are in the same group if you're average. So I got to be above average. I'm the rah-rah guy. I have to get people hyped. You know, people are enclosed. Closed don't like to let the personality out. I can do that. I'm comfortable with myself.
Wonderful. Thank you for taking the time. Enjoy your...
My name is Yuri Nzeusseu. I'm from Cameroon, Africa. And then I came to the US when I was about 15 years old.
Okay. So how do you feel so far about the training and the showcase?
I mean, I love it here a lot. You know, I'm learning every day. That's kind of my motto. Every day there's something new to learn, something new to add to my craft, something new to take home and perfect by myself. So, I mean, I'm just excited to be in an NBA environment and get my game to the next level.
So, what about some of the advice that the coaches have been giving to the players? What are some things that you're taking?
I'm just going to take some of the advice from the game yesterday. When one of the coaches was doing the stats, he likes the fact that I'm taking good shots, I'm playing hard. I was playing point guard, I won, and then they would switch me to the 2. You know, so it's just pretty much stay aggressive. The main thing is to have fun, because like in an environment like this, you just want to be in a moment and control what you can control. They like my shots so far. They want me to get a little more rebounds. They want me to be a little more active, getting some steals, because they feel as though I'm capable of getting at least 2 or 3 steals a game. And
I'm glad you talked about fun. Because one of the things that isn't so fun sometimes is when you don't get the role you want. I heard coaches talking about being able to fit different roles if you want to make it to the league. What are some roles that you feel you could fit if you were given the opportunity?
Man, I could be anything from somebody who's hyping people up in the locker room, in a bus on the way to the game, in a plane on the way to the game, being there for my teammate when something's going on in his head, just to like free him so he could play. I'll be on the court encouraging him, letting my teammates know I got your back, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna be nice, stuff like that. I mean, compared to where I was from to this is fun. You know what I'm saying? This is fun. Back home, I still have fun when I was in the dirt. Now I'm playing on a nice floor and nice shoes, so I mean, it's just awesome.
So, do you have a nickname so we can address you? Because maybe we can't pronounce your full name, give it shorter.
Yuri.
Yuri, okay. And you have a really individual story about how you got here. Tell me about your mom. Tell me about this story that we briefly spoke about yesterday. And let me know about your journey here, because it's amazing and everybody should know it.
So I mean, I was playing in college. I was in Texas, and Then year 2015, that was the year I was actually starting as a point guard. And then my mother was in a coma in November 2015. And I just remember dropping everything to go home. My mother was in a coma for 2 months. And I went home, I was by her, and she kept telling me, you have to go back and play. You need to go back and play. And then people don't know, but when I went to Africa, I went on a one-way ticket. I didn't have a way back to the US, and my family didn't have money. So when I got to Africa, I gave all my stuff to the people in the neighborhood. I was working out early in the morning on the same court I used to practice at, and kids used to rebound the ball for me. And that's how I would feel myself. So I came back to the US in 2016, February 2016. Then I was homeless. I was homeless for 2 years. And I just kept the ball in my hands. I used to practice at the park. Just keeping the dream. It was crazy. People were like, it's not gonna cut. You don't have an agent. People don't know you and stuff like that. But I just kept the ball in my hands. And here I am today.
You know, this really goes to show you there's so many more ways to get through. And somebody coming from where you're coming from and dealing with all the adversity compared to a lot of people who didn't have that adversity, like I said, it's going to make you a stronger player. We're glad to see you out here doing this for your mother and for all those times that you struggled. This will be your time to eat caviar. And we really want you to make it. We know you tried really hard, and we appreciate you coming here in the front row. And we've watched your journey. We'll continue to watch your journey. We just want to say thank you for coming and spending the time with us. And I know your mom, if she was here, she'd be very proud of you.
Thank you so much. I mean, if I have any tips to give to anybody, it's just to really trust the process but have fun with it, because it's not always going to go your way, but God placed a talent, a specific talent into each and every one of us, and it's just up to us to figure it out. And you just want to keep going, because you never know who is watching. You never know who is ready to help you. You never know who is ready to just give that extra hand, you know what I'm saying? So me doing this is for me because I love the game, but it's for my mom because I want to use the platform to bring her out here to get treatment. It's for my father to do that. It's to be able to pay for my sister's school. You know what I'm saying? It's just all these things. It's more than a game to me at the end of the day, but I'm having fun while I'm on the court. You know what I'm saying? It's just when I go home, if we talk about contracts or whatever, then I see, okay, I can use this platform, because I mean, we see NBA players and what they do, and then it's like basketball in general. I just really believe this game will bring people together.
Well, with stories like this, we're all going to stay close as family. Thank you for coming on and talking to us. Thank you for trying so hard, and know that you have in the front row behind you 100%, and we look forward to seeing your next move, G League, NBA, overseas, wherever you end up. We'll make sure we find you, and we'll stay in touch with your journey, okay? Thank you.
If you wanna find me, yeah, I'm in the front row with my 2 tickets on me. I'm in the front row. The best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row with my 2 tickets on me. I'm in the front row. Best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame? I'll be in the front row, chilling at a